Ippo's post-retirement progress is insane. After Ippo retired from professional boxing, he has improved his boxing skills, strength and intelligence significantly, to the point where he has evolved so much more than he was still an active boxer. In this video, I will go over every single improvement Ippo has made since his retirement, ranging from small details like when he became a coach to whole other stances that add much more depth and complexity to a style that will make him a monster if he eventually returns to boxing. The very first improvement, or better to say, what he still maintained, is his physical strength. Right after retiring, Ippo still wore the weighted wristbands on his wrists and legs to keep him fit with whatever he is doing, be it helping his mother in his fishing boat business, doing his road work, or literally anything else. The only times he took off the bands were during his spars with Volt Mashiba and confessing how much he likes Kumi, so he only takes them off during serious moments. This just makes him physically stronger without excessively training hard. Of course, in real life, do not wear these bands 24/7 as it will damage your blood flow and bones, but in the Hajime no Ippo universe it gives you the strength boost. Right after retiring, Ippo became a trainer, and in order to be more helpful for his former gym partners, he now extensively analyzes other boxers beforehand and during matches to find their opponent's strategies and weak points. Over time, Ippo developed this observation skill with ease and can instantly see through his opponents, helping other characters win their fights. Examples include when he analyzed Mashiba's opponent during his preliminary match for the World Championship. Ippo explained what strategy he should use during the fight and that his opponent is weak against body blows, which Mashiba utilized to win the fight with Ippo's insight. Another example is Kimura's fight, where their strategy was for Kimura to end the match as soon as possible by spamming a dragon fish blow, because Kimura would get tired past a certain point during the fight and would end up in a draw. More recently, Ippo analyzed the lightweight world champion Rosario's way of fighting and then mimicked him during the spar with Mashiba, which we will get later to the video. The next thing Ippo improved, which he previously severely lacked and was the reason for his downfall as a professional boxer, was his defense. Since Ippo is now a trainer, he must know how to utilize the mids during training to be effective. To understand the most effective way to utilize the mids, he analyzed how Coach Komogava used the mids, studied boxing stances, common combos and other boxers like himself and Ricardo Martinez. He then concluded that during his active career, he had completely abandoned his left jab and only charged right into his opponents without a clear strategy or a way to defend himself. It was a hard lesson learned too late, but now that Ippo has learned from his mistake, he made up for it by being able to keep up with fighters like Takamura. With the weighted wristbands, Ippo ran as fast as Takamura during their road work and was able to train Takamura during the mids training. Ippo even got a hit on Takamura and accidentally hit him too hard, quite literally punching the crap out of him. But perhaps the most important improvement that Ippo has made over time is thanks to having two disciples under his belt. Ippo currently exclusively trains two upcoming aspiring boxers. One is Aoki's younger brother Taihei and the other is his sidekick Kintaro. Ippo's goal is to prepare them to become successful professional boxers. So to accomplish this, Ippo trains alongside with them every day and is only teaching them the fundamentals. This is one of the most important aspects of Ippo's post-retirement training. Since he has to teach the two disciples every day, Ippo also trains in boxing himself. Thus he is not only retaining what he has learned but also improving the fundamentals of boxing. But the best depiction of Ippo's improvements during his retirement come from his spars with other boxers, where he ultimately displayed how far he has come. During Ippo's spar with Sando, before Sando's fight with Alfredo Gonzalez, Ippo showcased his significantly improved defense, speed and dashing skills. This spar was a no-contact spar, meaning neither of them would hit each other, but the second the bell rang, Sando went right into business and wanted to send Ippo flying. Unfortunately for him, Sando was not able to hit Ippo even once during the spar, since Ippo was no longer fighting like a wild boar. This got Sando heated up enough for his fight against Gonzalez and hinted at Ippo's eventual return to the ring. In Ippo's spar against the world champion level Volk, he displayed improved overall strength, defense and even parrying skills. Ippo managed to parry Volk's White Fang and caught them with ease, demonstrating that he has evolved his observation skills. Ippo even managed to land a liver blow on Volk, which he later learned actually broke Volk's ribs, making Volk upset enough to hit Ippo for real. Ippo still pushed Volk to the absolute limits, managed to punch him into the corner and showcased the evolved version of the Dempsey roll. This demonstrated to us, the readers, that he is still able to use this move even after so many years. Unfortunately for us, Sando stopped Ippo before he could chop Volk's head off with the diagonal Dempsey roll. But the most important spar in the retirement arc is between Ippo and Mashiba. Mashiba needed a suitable sparring partner for his upcoming world title fight against Marcus Rosario, who is a southpaw infighter. further. Ippo analyzed all of Rosario's matches and concluded that Rosario moves reminiscent of the Dempsey rule and uses the Gazelle punch as his signature punch. Takamura suggested that Ippo should be Mashiba's sparring partner in preparation for his world title fight, since Ippo is an infighter who utilizes the peekaboo technique, uses the Dempsey roll, and also utilizes the Gazelle punch. Takamura also mentioned that since Ippo uses the Dempsey roll, he switches stances unconsciously, so it will be easier for him to mimic a southpaw during a spar. So Ippo trained for an unspecified amount of time like a southpaw, where his dominant hand became his left and he had to train accordingly. During the official spar, it looked like Ippo was not a sufficient sparring partner for Mashiba since he could not close in. But then Ippo took off his weighted wristbands and quickly started to dominate Mashiba. Ippo showcased that he is too quick and also fights like a world champion level southpaw boxer. It was only after Mashiba switched up his strategy, extending his stance, that they were on equal footing. Ippo quickly analyzed the situation and saw how effective Mashiba's strategy was, since extending his stance made it harder for his infighters to reach him and he could easily punch them away with the flicker jabs. After 3 rounds, the spar initially ended, but Mashiba wanted to continue to legally hurt Ippo without facing any consequences. Ippo accepted Mashiba's offer, and then we witnessed 2 key moments that were under everyone's radar and no other character mentioned it. The first significant moment is that Ippo unconsciously switched his stance to orthodox, which further enraged Mashiba. This shows that if Ippo were to train this even further, he could utilize the switch hit technique, where he easily switches from orthodox to southpaw seamlessly, catching his opponents off guard on what stance Ippo is going to hit with next. And later, after 8 rounds straight without a break, a duel exchange occurred and Ippo fell down to the mat, which satisfied Mashiba, only for Ippo to stand up on the next page and talk with other boxers. This shows that Ippo also recovers from his injuries way faster than he used to. During his last professional fight, Ippo went down by just getting his chin grazed, but now, after a long break, he's quickly standing up after unresting 8 rounds straight. During Mashiba and Rosario's world title fight, we see Rosario moving the exact same way Ippo did during Mashiba's spar, and Mashiba is able to capitalize on this and read through Rosario's strategy like an open book. It is also notable that Ippo is watching this fight and can tell which techniques or strategies both fighters are going to use beforehand. For example, Ippo observed that Rosario was going to counter Mashiba by baiting him and delivering a right hook, downing him. Or when Mashiba was streaming into the corner, Ippo took a glimpse at both fighters' feet and realized that Mashiba was going to counter with an uppercut. This also confirms that current Ippo's observation skills are unmatched and he can easily read through his opponents. If Ippo were to improve even further, like adding a shift during a switch hit technique like Mike Tyson did, maybe even further improving the Dempsey roll and finding the right motivation and mindset to come back into the ring, he will literally be an unstoppable force of nature to be reckoned with. But what are your thoughts on Ippo's post-retirement progress as a boxer? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below, and if you've enjoyed this video, then please leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more Hajime no Ippo content. I'm the Reading Crow, and thanks for watching.